Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Tochi Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
All right, so that ends round 1. We'll be moving into round 2, which puts us to the top of the initiative at 10 with Ide Minato.
So Robert, rules question here. The maneuver action lets you do another movement, but you can also roll to get more movement out of that. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can take it just as a kind of an unrolled action, which will get you 1 range band, or you can attempt to make the check to gain much more distance, and that's usually the way that you try to cover a significant amount of ground in 1 turn.
And the 1 range band you get out of maneuver is in addition to the normal range band you can move?
It is in addition, so you'll get 1
Okay.
range band for free for everybody, and then if you go to water, you can get another 1 free range band of movement, and then you can attempt the maneuver action to go even further. That's the way to really pour on the. That's what Toto did last turn.
Okay, perfect. I thought that was the case, but I just want to double check before I start.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So after seeing the 3 soldiers surround Tomo, Minato is feeling a little threatened by the situation. So he is going to remain in water stance and try and ride out of there as quickly as they can. But he also wants to sort of discourage the soldiers from attacking him. So he is going to use a kata on them.
All right. As a note, if you use the kata, you can't use the checked version of the maneuver action.
Yeah, I will just get 2 range bands of movement. I can't do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I'm fine. Minato is going to use Pelting Hail style.
Nice.
All right, and what's the target number to hit them?
If the technique doesn't give you 1, it's 2.
Well, it's this is a thing that gives a way to spend opportunities. So
Got it. Yeah. So then it should be just 2. Yeah. You're taking a strike action, and you're just looking to hit TN2.
All right. Well, this is going to be a spicy round for Minato, because he was mostly trying to discourage, but he's also going to end up accidentally shooting someone.
Okay.
So he is going to get 2 successes, 3 opportunity, and 3 strife. But because he is soft-hearted, he is hurting someone.
You're not hurting someone yet unless you crit them. Fatigue.
Okay.
Fatigue is just it can be dodging, stress, soaking, parrying, all sorts of stuff can just be fatigue. So it's only when you crit someone you're actually like doing physical harm to them.
Yeah. So Minato is going to use Pelting Hail style against them. He will hit, doing 6 damage.
They'll soak 3 of that, so they'll take 3 fatigue.
And they will also take strife equal to the base damage of the weapon.
Which you said was 5, so
Correct.
that will be 5 additional 5 strife. Based on the pelting hail of again, now they've kind of been stuck into this entangling area of the shots being fired by Sueno. Now there's just the pelting hail style of arrows coming in from above from Minato. I love it. They are kind of stuck and stressed and not doing great where they're at. All right.
And I'm going to use my remaining opportunities to lower some of my strife.
Sounds good. And then you're going to move 2 range bands. There you go. You can get, I think, all the way over to here. All right. There we go. All right. So now we move on to the next in Initiative 10, which would be Doji Gen.
All right, for Tochiken, what I'd like to do is, remaining in water stance, I am going to full out ride towards the gap. Okay, so for my free action, I will assist Sueno in doing the same action. You know, this. All right.
Excellent.
And then for my checked action, I'd like to run. I'd like to maneuver.
Yeah, go for
it. Okay.
All right. So how many successes do you get on a TN1 fitness test?
I got 3 successes, 2 opportunities, and 3 strife.
All right. How does that strife manifest for her again, do you think?
Right now, she is being shut at, and she is realizing that she is a little exposed out here in this open terrain to those bows that she just pissed off, and she does not like how close that last arrow came. So she realized she could be peppered by 3 arrows, and that is not something she wants to think about. So she's anxious about that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Uh-huh.
All right. And how do you want to spend your opportunities here?
I would like to spend my 2 opportunities to... Can I use them to assist another person in doing this same
Absolutely.
action? So I assisted Sueno with my free or with my waterman action, and I'd like to go ahead and assist Richie. He said run here, so hopefully he'll run too.
It's to the next character that attempts
Or
it.
to
So it's
whoever
whoever
it is.
decides to whoever next person who takes the maneuver action will get the assist. Yeah.
On our side.
So if Richie decides to yell or do something else, then it goes to whoever on your side, whoever else wants it. Okay, so with 6 successes on a TN of 1, because your horse gives you an additional 3, you get to move 2, 3, 4 range bands, which will put you just behind Tomo and Hayate.
Excellent.
In fact, let me go ahead and stack them a little better because they're on the same horse there. All right. So that gets you guys moving, and you guys at this point are range 3 from the rock outcropping that Minato has pointed out as giving you guys extra cover when you're inside of it. Next up, the melee outriders. Let's see here. So they are in entangling terrain, and which I think adds a +2 to the TN of a maneuver action with open, so it's TN 3. Yeah, I don't think that's range 1. Do you, Richie?
It could be range 1.
Could be. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Let's see how it looks.
Since it's kind of an abstraction.
It's an abstraction, yeah. Do I think it's range 1, or do I think that it's range 2?
Are they still in the entangling terrain?
Yes, they're entangled wherever they're at. It's just they haven't anywhere that they step is entangling for the next turn. So they can move one range. Actually, they can move one range band that way, and then they can go underwater. Then they can fail the maneuver check to get them an extra range band, and that will put them at range 1 to you. That's what they'll do.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so they were able to do that by taking two range band movements. Yeah. All right. All right, so they come clamoring out through this entangling of the shots and the pelting hail, and they have to kind of really push themselves and have to go into water to move all out to get to you. And they come out swinging hard, and they succeed on a TN2 strike action with 4 successes, 2 opportunities, and 2 strife. And so they will hit you and crit you. So 4 successes with a scimitar will make it 6 fatigue.
I'll only take the 4 because my clothing has 2 physical resistance.
There you go. So you take 4 fatigue, and then you take a severity 5 crit.
And we'll resist it. I'm
All
still
right.
in the water stance, so thankfully, that's a fitness of 3 and water of 4.
All right, Richie, as the Outriders come tromping out of the hail of arrows, and they're unsteady, and it takes everything they have to come at you, and they've hit you and crit you. What does your resistance look like for this Deadliness 5 scimitar?
2 successes, 3 opportunities, and a strife.
Got it. All right. And how do you want to spend those opportunities? Because you did use an advantage here that might help flavor things.
Yes, I did use an advantage of quick reflexes to reroll 2 of my dice to at least give me an extra opportunity here. So what it looks like is I'll be taking the 2 of the 3 opportunities, I should say, and repositioning myself, and I'll move 1 range band as I'm like kind of dashing out of the way. The strike comes in and does hit me like right towards the back as I'm running, like repositioning myself. I'm not running away. I'm repositioning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll move the 1 range band over, and then the other opportunity I would like to use would be to reduce 1 fatigue on myself. So I'll go from 4 fatigue down to 3.
All right. So at this case, you took a severity 5 down to a severity 3, which is still a flesh wound. The hit sinks into the character's flesh, slicing shallowly or creating a vicious contusion. So you are lightly wounded in your water ring.
Yay.
Let's see here. Is the scimitar razor edged? It is durable razor edge. So you are also bleeding at the moment, unfortunately.
Great.
Yeah, that is the rougher of the effects of having the lightly wounded here. So there we go. First blood goes to the Outriders. All right. After them comes the ranged folks, who are going to continue their slow advance by horseback, and did they take a shot at Sueno or at Minato? I think they take a shot at the unicorn, one of their traditional adversaries. And they are in water. All right, they will hit for 4, and they will crit Minato. Let's see here, what's the horsebow again? Horsebow is damage 4, deadliness 5. So with that, they will hit for 6. 6 fatigue. Your armor probably soaks 2. So that'll be 4 fatigue, and then you take a severity 5 crit.
Ooh.
Which you have to resist with a whatever stance you're in, ring fitness test to resist.
Now, I believe you said if you were mounted, we could use survival. Is that right?
Yes, you can use survival in place of any fitness test.
Woo.
You're like, take this, Hida. I don't need fitness.
More like let the horse take it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just how we'll do it. All right. So how did your resistance check go there?
Not too bad. I managed to get the 4 successes I needed. I got 3 stress, but I also got an opportunity. And since I'm in water stance, I'm going to spend that to ignore 2 of the strife that I gained.
Or to lower yourself by 2 that you already
Yes.
have, and then gain 3. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. And 4 drops the severity down to 1, meaning that it has cut through and damaged your traveling clothes to a degree that they are at -2 resistance now. So they're effectively useless at this point. But at the same time, it's at least they were able to reduce the damage you took off of that first blow from 6 to 4.
But these outfits are so fancy.
They
How dare they?
are. All right. So that's the mounted. Those are the ranged outriders. We go to Hayate. Who is you know what? I'm gonna make a meditation check for him. He goes into void stance. All right, so he turns back and he sees that Ricci is about to face off against the other mounted warriors, and he he wants desperately to go back and save his friend, but he is kind of held in place by his own sense of honor and by Ricci's earlier command. But he definitely has a look of concern and kind of shouts back, "Ricci, no!" As they start to pull away, and Gin kind of pulls up alongside behind, and yeah, he's not sure quite what to do. He takes some narrative strife and but stays stays by his command, the Ricci's command with Tomo at the moment, and doesn't decide to run back to fling himself haphazardly into the melee back there. Okay, Ricci, you're up.
So bleeding a little bit from my back as it just kind of wells up a little bit of rage in me, but I focus it in and then just release it out in a roar.
Nice.
Specifically, Lord Akota's roar, something that these soldiers may have heard before in the city.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I like that. All right. So what's the TN for this?
So it is a TN of 1.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good, and this will reach out to any enemy within a range band equal to my school rank, and I'm school rank of 4. So anyone up
That'll
to
hit
range,
everybody. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll just go on from there, and I will remember that I have an opportunity from my last command check.
Yes.
So my void of 3 and my command of 3, and we'll go from there.
All right. So how does your mighty roar erupt from your throat?
2 successes, 2 strife, and an opportunity. The strife, I don't take any actual strife for it. However, I am bleeding, so I will take 2 fatigue, unfortunately, which puts me up to 5. However, I only needed 1 success, so that goes through, and all enemy characters within 4 of me are now dazed. And then I got the 1 opportunity plus the opportunity from my last turn, means that I can now command 1 of my friendly characters to perform a strike action if they're within 0 to 3 of me. Again, it's unfortunately out of range. However, Sueno-san is right in range, and I'll have her attack any character that is dazed.
Yeah, well, that's all of them right now, or at least all the enemies. So yeah, who does Sueno wish to attack? Does she want to hit the melee guys or go after the ranged?
For the melee guys, are they in range 3 to 5 or not?
The melee guys are at range 2 to Sueno right now.
All right, she cannot attack the melee guys because she's using a bow, which is range 3 to 5. However, the other ones
that's fair.
Well, is she using the horse bow or a Yumi?
The
I think she has a Daikyu, yeah.
That has been said, so.
All right, well then I think it's a shot at the ranged outriders.
Well, Sueno rolled off of the attack against the dazed characters per Ricci's orders. She got 3 successes, 3 strife, and an opportunity. And she is going to... Okay. She will just use that opportunity to remove 2 strife from herself.
Okay. So then that means she does 9 damage to the ranged archers, and that'll be dropped by 3 to 6.
And with all of that still taking place on my turn, the last thing I will do is take the free movement action to move one range band closer towards the little canyon area that we have. Still in range of the melee guys, but starting to make that rolling retreat.
Got it. I will note to everyone that does remove one of the ranged archers. So one of them kind of avoids a nasty shot, one that came way too close to striking their throat, and decides that it was too much, and they wheel their horse and they bug out.
And that is it for Ricci.
All right, that's Ricci done. Moving forward, we go to Tomo. With Gen's assist onto the person doing the next maneuver check, Tomo follows orders and barrels down and rides hard like a good Utaku should. And she makes it for a total of 4 successes, 1 opportunity, and 1 strife. With that, she will be moving 5 range bands because where she started was open terrain, and that'll makes it a TN1 base. 7 successes gets her 5 range bands. So yeah, she hauls ass with the with her steed, and as she gets to the end of her gallop, she lets out a warning whistle, and Hayate is only able to spot the Unicorn Sentinel when they stand up from where they were in a crouched position, keeping an eye on the camp from their high spot on the ridge, and they let out a return whistle that they spot them, and they'll keep an eye out for things, and we'll cover them the rest of the way. All right, with that, we get to the bottom of the initiative with Sueno.
All right, Sueno is going to take Ricci's order now and do her own full riding action to reach Gen's side. She will move 1 free action. Okay, 1 free range band.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will, as her water action, she will assist the next person taking a maneuver action.
Excellent.
And then she will ride full out. Let's see how she does. Okay. She got 3 successes, 2 strife, and 1 opportunity on the roll. Her horse also provides additional bonus successes, I believe.
3 bonus successes
for this maneuver action. She would like to go ahead and spend the opportunity to basically just remove the strife from the roll, since it's water.
Okay. Yep, that works. All right, so with that roll of 4 successes, 3 bonus successes from the horse, and 2 strife, Sueno is able to move 5 range bands, and yeah, she's really able to get a move out here. So she's gonna move. We can move her to the far end of the rock outcropping and still stick her in the concealing terrain, or she can get a little farther, probably halfway between Tomo and the rock outcropping if you wanted to, with 5 range bands. It's a big distance.
She would just like to get into the edge of the concealing terrain. She doesn't want to go too much further beyond that. She just wants to get into the concealing terrain, so she can stop there.
So,
yeah, sure.
Does that look good? Okay. Yeah. So she could have moved 5, but she just chose to move 4. That's totally fair. All right. Minato, at the start of round 3, to kind of restate the position that we have for things, the mounted horse archers have lost, one of their members has lost their nerve and decided to leave the the engagement. They turned and fled. The three melee outriders, they are no longer entangled, but they are at range 2 to Minato, range 1 to Ricci. Or I guess, yeah, technically range 2 to Ricci, probably range 3 to Minato at this point because you moved the range band away from them. Ricci, I should say. And then Gin, you have moved to range 4 from the melee, and Sueno has moved range 5 from them. While Tomo and Hayate have made the most distanced, and they are kind of on the verge of range 6. I think they're pretty much outside the range of the archers at this point. At least there's not a good shot at them because of the way the elevation changes and the terrain is set up. But a unicorn sentinel has been spotted and alerted, and he's on assistance to pretty much shoot at any unfriendlies that kind of come through the confining narrowing of the rock formations in the desert here. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start round 3 with Ide Minato.
All right. Minato does not really like violence or bloodshed, but at this point, both he and Ricci have both been tagged pretty well, and he kind of considers these wayward samurai his potential meal ticket and way out of insolvency. So he feels pretty committed to making sure they get out of here safely. And he's going to kind of let his anger and sort of fear at losing this opportunity get the best of him. He's going to take an actual attack with the intent to harm someone.
Oh, okay.
So right now, the archers are kind of off in the distance and being left further and further behind. I'm still concerned about these soldiers that are directly next to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to make an attack in fire stance, and I am going to use staggering shot.
Nice. Yeah, so you're at range 3. I believe your horsebow is fine with that.
I'm actually just using a normal Yumi.
Oh, okay. I still think you're fine at range 3 from there, but let me check.
Yeah, the range is 2 to 5.
Got it.
Now, point of clarification, I only treat the stress I gain from the dice as bonus successes, right?
Yes. Not from your anxiety. All right, Minato, how'd that shot go?
Well, I didn't achieve enough opportunity to pull off the technique I wanted, but I still got one. I managed to get 5 successes and 4 strife, and since that's fire stance, that will also turn into additional successes.
Yeah, that'll get you 9 there. So what's the base damage of the Yumi?
The base damage is 5.
So 5 plus 7, I suppose, is going to be 12 damage. They have a soak of 3, so they take 9. Yeah, that gets rid of 1. Let's say your shot doesn't necessarily kill a man, but you have definitely hit somebody and unhorsed them. Again, there was no crits involved here, but you did attempt to shoot to kill. So gain 3 strife for your anxiety there, and then you'll gain 4 normally. So that was a total of 7 strife for taking that shot, but it paid off big time by taking care of one of them while continuing to put a lot of damage onto the remaining pair. How do you want to spend your opportunity?
I'm going to use the standard fire success to increase the target number of these swordsmen by 1 if they target anyone but me.
Sounds good. All right, and then do you want to move at all with your free movement? And
Yes.
if so, yeah, which direction? Just towards Ricci, towards the the concealing terrain, backwards away from the swordsman.
I'm gonna move towards the terrain.
You got it. There you go. All right, excellent turn. A lot of strife, but you've definitely caught their attention, and they want to go after you for a bit of face tanking after dropping one of their compatriots, even though he's still kind of rolling around in the dust, squirming, and he definitely isn't dead, but it's still upsetting. They want some payback. All right,
It was
again,
spicy but worth it.
absolutely. Edgy again, you're bottom of round of slot 10. Sorry, there we go.
Okay. I am going to... I just need to see the map here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, Sueno is where she needs to be, and Ricci and Minato are not, because they did not run when they said run. Okay. I am going to wheel my horse around and shoot an arrow towards the two near Ricci.
All right, to the melee outriders.
Yes.
Got it.
And I am going to switch to fire stance as well.
All right, yeah, you see a strong tactic and wish to emulate it. Go for it.
Absolutely.
All right, again, TN2 still. All right, so how did your shot go?
Well, I tried to do real well, and I did not do so well. I got 4 opportunities and 2 strife and 1 success.
And one
miss.
success. Yeah. All right. Well, how do you want to
All
spend
right.
your 4 ops?
I'd like to spend 1 up to provide assistance to the next character trying to accomplish the same action. Okay. All right.
Well, that's 2. All right.
And I'd like to spend 1 to choose another character in the scene and increase the TN of their next check they make before the start of the next turn if it does not include me as a target. Given everything else, I would like to do that to the ranged people. All right.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
then I would like to go ahead and use 1 to remove a strife and 1 to
That should be all of them. It's a 2 to pass assistance.
it's only 1 to pass assistance if you failed.
Oh, okay. Good point.
And so
Mm-hmm.
then with the last one, I'll do it in a flashy way. So it's like, Nanya.
There you go. So you stand up high in the saddle and you give yourself the bearing of Doji Horse Princess and draw attention as you take aim and let loose with your shots. They don't necessarily land, but you make a statement. All right. After that, we get to the melee outriders. Man. So they can't get to Minato, and they're never going to hit Ricci with a +3 TN, I don't think.
And that's including their dazed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's a TN 5 for them to hit you. I mean, what do they do besides that though? And I think that's their only play. It sucks for them, but it's what they got. They have to water stance it again, make a additional move with maneuver through unchecked water. And then I think they'll spend their one and only void point on this check here.
Just to clarify, they are attempting a strike, correct?
They are attempting a strike.
Okay. Then the dazed will remain.
Yes. Yes, the melee outriders go to attack Ricci, but between the deafening roar they just suffered, the attacks of Ide Minato and Doji Gen on them, there's confusion, there's split targeting, there's like disagreement and dissension within the ranks of who to attack, and in their effort to finally come to an agreement and hit and attack somebody and try to stop any more of the unicorn and the Rokugani from getting away from the Sultan's army. They only wind up with 4 successes where they needed 5 to do anything. They do get 2 opportunities, which with water they will use to try to cut Ricci off by moving an additional range band. But they're going to take 3 strife because of that. And their one and only void point. That's a real shame. All right, now the archers need to. God, what are they going to do? They're going to just make a maneuver action and attempt to get around the bend of this canyon wall so they can see where you people are traveling to or running away to. They'll go into water. And they failed. Let's see what they got for advantages. Those don't really work for maneuver checks. Okay, so they can move 1 range band normally. They will spend 2 of all of those ops to move an additional range band. And then 1 more to get rid of 2 strife, I guess. Wow, that was awful on their part. It is Hayate's turn. He is going to dismount Tomo's horse as an unchecked action, go to water, and he's going to try to run over to where the sentinel's at and set up a position where kind of near those rocks to strike out at people. Or, yeah, any pursuers. He will get 2 successes and 2 opportunities. Yeah, that'll allow him to move all the way up there. Yeah. Okay. That is Hayate. All right, Ricci, you're up.
All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to air stance and try to get a little bit more dodging action in.
Okay.
Reaching into my battlefield medical pack, I will take out some gauze, a little bit of water that I have, and a couple of the powders and whatnot, just to get it to stick, and then just reach back and just kind of slap it onto my wound on my back. So, using the battlefield medical pack as a support action once per scene, I will remove the bleeding condition from a character.
Got it. So that is an untyped action?
It is a support action.
Oh, it is a support action. You're right.
It's
I'm sorry.
actually a support
action. I meant to say it's an unchecked action, so it's something you can do as your free action in water.
Correct. However, I'm going to stay in air.
Yeah, stay in air for it. Okay.
That will be my action, is to stop the bleeding. As my free movement action, I will start moving the range band, getting a little bit closer to Gen, and I will look back to Minato and just say, "You two, go!"
All right. Sounds good. All right. After Ricci is Utaku Tomo. What is she going to do? She is going to take her her free move, and then she is going to not have the bow drawn because that'll just hurt the bow, but have an arrow on the string with it ready to go. And she's going to take a wait action, and if any of the Sultan's men make it up over the rise, she will let loose with an arrow. All right, that is her action. Sueno.
All right. Sueno is going to, from her position, she is shifting to air stance. And she is going to shoot with her bow at the two that are on Ricci.
Sounds good.
And she has assistance because Gang gave it to her. It's the next shot action.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so, who is she shooting at? Is she
The
going to
two on
try and
Ricci.
shoot at the archers
The
or
melee.
the melee? The two on Ricci. Sounds good. Yep. All right. TN2. Range 4.
All right. As I said, she is in air stance. She got 2 successes and 3 opportunities on her shot. She would like to, use her 2
All right.
successes to, shoot them. She has the same damage as everybody else for this, so she is the 5,
So 6.
And
Just making sure that
it's the Daikyu.
Daikyu, yeah.
And she would like to use 2
Mhm.
of those air opportunities on the staggering shot, putting them in entangling terrain.
Nice. Again, I like
then
it.
she would like to use the last of the air opportunities to add a kept ring dice set to an opportunity result on her next martial skill check.
I like it. Sounds good. Always a nice thing to be able to bank a little extra help for a crit. All right. They are once again stuck in entangling. All right. All right. So that ends our round 3, going now into round 4. We have whittled down the forces of the Sultanate. There are now only 2 ranged outriders and 2 melee outriders. Right now, the melee outriders are engaged in a close fought hand-to-hand combat with Orichi, while others have been messing with them, harassing them with, some might even say, harrying them from a distance. Ricci has let out a yell, which has dazed the enemy combatants, but right now only the melee fighters are still under the dazed. The ranged are not, although with the success that the ranged fighters had on their last turn, maybe they were still a bit more confused than they let on. We have a real long chain of range between all of our different characters. Some of them are at ranged 1, some at range 3, some of them are range 6. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting running combat here and a heck of an archery duel. So let's go ahead and start it off again to let people know about conditions out there. Ricci was bleeding, it's no longer. The melee fighters are still dazed and are in an entangling terrain effect from Sueno. So let's start it off with Minato.
Yeah, at this point, I think the time for heroics is over. Especially because I am the furthest in the back. So Minato is just going to sort of put the spurs to his horse and try to ride on out of there.
Sounds good. All right, you are in not just neutral terrain, but open terrain, as Ricci stated from the assessment. So feel free to make this at TN1, and you can use fitness or survival for the fitness test on the maneuver action.
I am almost at my maximum for Strife, so I'm going to do this in Void stance, and I am going to spend a point of Void.
Okay.
Spending Void gives you an extra ring die, right?
Yes, gives you an extra ring die. And then you won't have to suffer any Strife results that you get from this roll.
And the horse gives me its water ring and bonus successes, right?
Yes, 3 bonus successes.
All right. Minato would normally be getting 2 successes, 2 opportunity, and 1 strife, but because he is on a horse, that's going to give him 3 more bonus successes, and because he's in void stance, he's going to ignore that point of strife that he gets.
All right, what do you want to do with your void opportunities?
I'm going to use just the general opportunity. I'm going to spend those 2 to provide assistance to the next character to accomplish the same thing. So I'm going to give assistance to Ricci to ride on out.
There you go. All right, so that'll get you to range 4, and then pretty much your free movement will get you into the concealing terrain that you set up from the very beginning, from turn 1.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, there you go. Really, yeah, Minato makes the distance and into a spot where the enemy can't even see him. Okay, moving forward, Doji Gen.
All right. I am going to hold my position where I am here. I am going to shift to air stance. All right. And I am going to take aim and fire at the archers.
Okay. And what stance are you in?
I'm in air. Okay. I got 2 successes. Yes, I have, because I have the opportunity I saved from the previous round. I have 2 successes, 2 opportunities, and 1 strife. I would like
Okay,
to get
and how do you want to
critical
spend your
strike.
2 ops?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that'll be what? It's the deadliness 4 on the Daikyu, I believe. So up here they take 3 fatigue because of the 6 fatigue you throw at them, and then their 3 armor, and then they have to resist a crit. And they were in water, so yeah, they'll just drop those extras. So yeah, they take the deadliness 4 and negate it down to 0. So it damages their armor. So their armor has gone from resistance 3 to resistance 1 now. And then they do take 1 strife off of that. All right, so that is again the melee fighters. They're never gonna catch anyone. So yeah, they're gonna attempt to fight Ricci. It's gonna be real tough, but let's see what we can do. So TN2 +2 for dazed is 4, +2 for air stance is 6.
Correct. Because I am rank 4 in my school, so that brings my air up to 2.
All right, and Minato and Gin have gone, so they don't have the fire op effect anymore. Okay, just wanted to make sure it was 6, not 7. And they're out of void. I mean, fire stance is only so useful if you can't even hit the TN. All right. All right. So, in a similar turn of events to last time, the soldiers of the Sultanate give it everything they have, fighting from horseback against with scimitar to katana against Ricci, and they needed 6 successes to get past his improved defense with his air stance, the daze that is still ringing through their ears, and just the base TN to begin with. And they hit 5 successes when they needed 6. So yeah, it did not work out for them. They didn't even get any opportunities. So an easy round for them. They do, however, gain 3 strife. All right. Now we move to the ranged fighters. They're going to move range 1, and they are going to take a shot at Doji Gen. Since it's them or Ricci, and Ricci's already engaged, they're going to take the shot there. They literally can't see anyone else at the moment. They're going to hit, although whether they can do a crit or something is another thing. I wish they'd been in fire stance, but no. I didn't change stances. They stay in water. Okay.
My TN to be hit was 4.
They had one opportunity. Because you're also in air stance, yep. All right, so they're going to get their damage, which I believe was 5. Maybe make it double sure about that. Horsebow. No, damage is 4. It's 4/5. Okay. So 4 plus 2 is, so you'll take 6 fatigue off of their 6 successes. So yeah, the air stance helped out quite a bit there. Shaved 2 additional fatigue off of that for you. And then they will spend 1 water op to negate or to lower to remove 2 strife. So they're only going to gain a net of 2 fatigue off of this.
And I
all right.
Good.
You take
my armor is still intact,
yeah.
so
yes. So 6 fatigue coming in.
Uh-huh.
So you take 4 fatigue after reductions. And again, they have no crits or anything else to do besides just lower some strife off of themselves. All right, because I only had the 1. All right, that is the Outriders. Hayate will also wait. Say anyone comes within range, he will lash out and strike with his Yari. That brings us to Ricci.
Well, this is going to be a real easy turn. We're going to stay in air stance, and I'm going to go ahead and maneuver my way out to the canyon.
All right, so that'll be a TN1 fitness test.
Indeed. So air of 3, fitness of 3. So for my check, I got 4 successes, 3 opportunities, and 2 strife, alongside the 3 additional bonus successes for having a really good horse. Puts me up to 7 successes.
7 successes lets you get out to move to range 5. 5 range bands. That's a thing, man.
So just going through, we're running hard. But I'm also doing
it through the confining terrain and into the concealing terrain that Minato set up.
Yes. And with the concealing terrain and just a little bit of erratic movement with the horse, me and the horse are getting along really well now. We're going to increase the TN of any range checks targeting us by 2 for 2 of my opportunities. And for one of the additional opportunity, I can change some of my movement to being vertical. And so what it looks like is we're dashing through and the horse leaps over one of the small outcroppings of rocks. And it's very impressive. Everyone would be very, very awed at seeing it.
I think
this lion riding a unicorn horse doing acrobatics.
Yeah, I think some of them might nickname that horse Mountain Goat from here on out. All right. So with that, we move on past Ricci to next in initiative, which is Atakutomo, who is again going to wait to set up a shot in case anyone comes riding up towards you guys. All right, and then after that, we have Sueno.
Sueno, from where she is going to remain in air stance, and she is going to shoot at the archers, I think. All right, Sueno shot in air, and she got 2 successes, 2 opportunities, and 2 strife. and she is going to be using those 2 opportunities to, once again, staggering shot these guys, so now they are in entangling terrain as well, for the moment. No need to let them get away. And then she does her base damage with her bow.
And her base damage is 6, and no bonus successes with that. They only soak 1, so they take 5. The Sultan's outriders start to yammer and argue amongst each other, looking at the way you've set up and are now hiding within the rocks and the shadows of the confining terrain there as it funnels into a bit of a steep-sided canyon, and before it rises up out of there, and they tend to know better. Between that and all of the shots they've taken, they're not looking to ride into a meat grinder. That is not what these scouts are set for. You've taken off about a third of their forces already and wounded some others, and they've had enough, and they kind of with a set of just the foulest curses you've heard yet amongst your time in the Caliphate. They turn to right away back towards the Sultan's waiting army.
Gen will shout back, and I guess this would be fire stance. Switch into fire stance. There are better ways to request the hospitality of Rokugan.
I'm Robert, or Bayushi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Richi. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter at Churcher Games or on Twitch, also as Churcher Games. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kikita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kikita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.